I am the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So, sometime last year, I bought Zarek the Silent King, and I had it mostly put together, but not really painted. And then about 2 weeks ago, I kind of just sat down and in a big ass flurry, I painted his ass up. And then I was looking through the codex and being like, this guy's a Lord of War. That means I can send him through the gauntlet. So, yeah, today we're going to put the Silent King through the gauntlet. Should be a good time. A couple months ago, somebody had posted a comment asking why I didn't do basing, like the box art related kind of basing. And my response at the time had been that I kind of sucked at it. All of my attempts had failed. And I managed to pull this thing off a couple nights ago, and it's probably the best base looking type thing I've ever done. So I'll keep on doing this for the Eldar, and hopefully I'll get better as we go. So here's my Silent King. The two guys that would be on the little balcony type things behind him didn't really want to go together as the instructions said, so they're either invisible or in the bathroom. I don't know. They're not here right now. I'm not gonna put the menhirs in there with them, so it'll just be Zarek on his throne thing going down the street. There's the street. Lots of happy places to hide. So ordinarily on a gauntlet game, I'll run orcs also, but the last couple of gauntlets, the orcs have just sucked really, really bad. And for my own personal way of doing things, I would prefer that a faction have two heavy supports to participate in the gauntlet, and it's just unfortunate that one of the orc heavy supports is a Death Dread. Well, his only gun is a 12-inch range. That's not really helpful. And then the Bubba Chucko, that's cool, but again, you got a chance of it being a 2-foot range. So, and they suck really bad at shooting. So, no orcs for this experience. So instead, we're going to do a Necron grouping and a Chaos Space Marine Night Lord grouping. For the Necrons, it'll be two identical Locust Heavy Destroyer squads, one Enmitic Exterminator and one Gauss Destructor in each of the groups. Those four guys by themselves should be able to take care of the Silent King. He's only got 16 wounds, so I got faith. And so for Night Lords, we're going to go something slightly a little different than normal. We're going to have Obliterators in there as a single unit each. And then I don't have any Havocs at this point in time, but I will at some point in the future. But we're going to run these heavy weapon Space Marines as Havocs. Two last cannons, two heavy bolters, and then the Aspiring Champion will just have the Plasma Pistol and Power Fist. So yeah, there's the contenders to hopefully defeat the Silent King in an ambush. I'll set up the first grouping, which will be the Night Lords, and we'll start the happiness. So we have the Obliterators kind of at the halfway point on the street, one on each side. And then the Proxy Havoc Squad on the top floor of this building. The last cannons are the two on the left. The heavy bolters are the two in the front, and then the Aspiring Champion behind them. And here we got Zarek, ready to start the happy walk down the street. So we'll start with Necron movement. Alright, so the Silent King has advanced forward 10 inches. And his turn is done. So we'll go over to the Night Lord's turn. Nobody's moving, there aren't any psychics, so just straight to the shooting phase. So the Obliterator on the left that you can kind of see did a point of damage to the Silent King, and then one of the last cannons did 4 points of damage to the Silent King, so I'm actually surprised he's taking damage. But it is unfortunately his turn. I mean, it's unfortunate for them. I'm enjoying it. So, Necron movement, and he regains the health for living metal. So yeah, really crappy advance roll. So he advanced forward 9 inches. So he's kind of close to halfway there. So shooting phase for him. So his staff of shooting stars, he managed to do 3 points of damage to that obliterator there on the left that you can kind of see. And he missed with his scepter. Well, I mean, he didn't miss, but he failed the wound. Yeah, so that takes it back to the Night Lord's ambushers. No movement, nobody gains any health back. The psychics, just pure shooting phase. Alright, well, color me super surprised. Yeah, between the two obliterators, they did the remaining 12 points of damage needed to kill him, so yeah, the Silent King by himself did not survive the gauntlet against the Night Lords. Again, yeah, I didn't see that coming. I figured it would just make all but save, since that's what necrons normally do against chaos, so. Alright, I'll reset for the necrons and we'll try this again. So the heavy destroyers have chosen to take the same positions that the obliterators were in, halfway down the street, one on each side. Silent King is back at the start of the street. So we'll start off with the Silent King's movement. So the Silent King advanced forward about a foot. Can't really do anything else for him, so goes to the ambusher's turn. They're not going to move. They don't have Catan. They are going to shoot. So it's excellent to have an invulnerable save because he made all of his invulnerable saves. He'll survive against the Necrons, but not against the Night Lords. Alright. The Silent King's movement. The Silent King just moved forward 10 inches. Well, he advanced 10 inches, but rolling a 2 is not all that helpful. He can definitely see his attackers now, so he's definitely going to shoot at them. Using his staff of shooting stars, Silent King managed to kill off one of the Locust Heavy Destroyers, one of the Enminic Exterminators, sadly leaving the two really big ones. But whatever. It's the end of his turn. So then the Ambushers' turn. They're just going to shoot. So the Lonely Gauze Destructor Heavy Destroyer did 5 points of damage. And then the remaining pair, the Gauze Destructor over there, did another 5 points of damage. And then the Enminic Exterminator did 3, so he's down to 3. But they didn't kill him. There was, thank something Merlin or whatever for small favors. But that'll make it the Silent King's turns. Silent King regained a wound, which doesn't get him out of the low bracket. Even with a 1-inch advance, he still only made it 5 inches. But, he's at the middle of the table, he's halfway there, and he can shoot at things, maybe. So because he is on the bottom bracket, he can't use the Staff of Shooting Stars, but he can use the Scepter of Eternal Glory. And he did a couple points of damage to the single destroyer that's left. But unfortunately, that is the end of his turn. Which makes it the other Necron's turn, the Destroyer's turn. One of those guys will regain a health, and then they're going to shoot. Alright, so the single lone heavy destroyer finished off the Silent King. So I guess the only real lesson that I've learned here is that, yeah, destroyers tend to kick ass, and probably shouldn't put my big ass characters up against stuff that has a -5 AP. I don't know why. Wasn't really rolling really good on his emblems against the Necrons. I don't know. I guess I was expecting him to do a lot better against the Night Lords than he did, but it is what it is. If you made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate you watching. This one was kind of a struggle to have to film, mostly because of health issues lately. I will be doing an On My Necrons overpowered game involving the Silent King here in a couple days. Definitely looking forward to that. It'll be the Void Dragon, a Monolith, and the Silent King against all of my Chaos Space Marines. Should be a good game. Again, thanks for watching and have a good whatever time of day it is, wherever you are.